Greetings, Hoodoo family. I hope this video finds you doing well. People ask me all the time about different hoodoo oils, which ones are the best one to use for certain situations, what makes a hoodoo oil powerful. So today I want to teach you about hoodoo oils, our modern ones, and what traditional hoodoo oils were like as well. Now, let me make clear from the very beginning, family, I don't have any hoodoo oils for sale. So this is not an advertisement. This is simply to educate you about hoodoo oils, just a little history about their evolution in our communities, and what are some of the primary ones you might want to have on hand. But I also want to share some other videos on this channel that give you instructions for making different types of hoodoo oils. So today we have all kinds of hoodoo oils. You can make these oils yourself, and if you don't want to go through the process, you can always buy hoodoo oils from practitioners. Now, some people like to make them and some people don't, and that's okay. But I will say this, if you are an aspiring home practitioner, you really should at least try. Hoodoo oils are just a wonderful help for making these needed connections or deriving the spirit that you need, like for a particular situation. So let's go look at a little bit of history on hoodoo oils. Prior to commercialization of hoodoo during the early 1900s to present, actually, hoodoo oils was very different. They have went through a very dramatic change since the days of slavery when hoodoo was created. So during the early days of hoodoo, oils were made with animal fat. They were made with grease and mostly roots was used. Leaves was incorporated into these oils, but these were primarily used with like water to make teas, infusions, and decoctions. Roots was the primary ingredient for these older type hoodoo oils. And here's why. And this is something that you really need to know. Roots was a primary ingredient for most all of early hoodoo work in general. The root is the main hub of energy. It's the spirit, it's the brain, it's the memory of trees and plants. Our ancestors knew that you could take a piece of a root, lay it in the ground, and if the conditions in the soil was right, it would start to grow a whole new tree or plant. This is where laying down roots come from. This is the physical side of laying down roots. In hoodoo, remember, we work with the spirit of things. We will use that same piece of root, which has this distinct spiritual attribute about it. We will plant it in a situation so that as the root grows, so will its spiritual power in that situation, and that's what we want. This is laying down roots, and this is the OG of hoodoo work. So when we use roots in our oil, we let the oil take on the spirit of that root, and we have preserved some of that spiritual energy in that oil. So whenever we need that spiritual energy, we use that oil. And these early hoodoo oils were very super strong. Practitioners at that time, they didn't care about how it looked. They didn't care about the bottle. They were focused on empowering the oil with the spirit. And that's why you always pray over your roots and your herbs to invoke the spirit into the oil. Now, those of you who have the Hoodoo Basic Training textbook, follow the instructions to make a hoodoo circle. Place your freshly made bottle of oil in the center of that circle and empower it that way too. I strongly encourage this. So, during the commercialization of hoodoo after slavery, manufacturing companies outside of our communities started selling exotic hoodoo oils like Bend Over or come to me oils, gambling oils, commanding oils. And a lot of these were fake and were not made with natural ingredients. In fact, a lot of them were just plain old used cooking oil packaged in exotic bottles. Now, fast forward to today. Unlike today, our ancestors during those early days didn't have a hoodoo oil for a variety of things. Today we have attraction oils. We have all kinds of money and financial oils, love oils, prosperity oils, enemy oils, protection oils, just a host of other types of oils that they didn't create back in the day. So back in those days, oils was primarily used for healing and protection. Now, I seen this also a lot with the old folks that I grew up around. So, what makes a hoodoo oil powerful? Using strong roots, strong plants and leaves. I call these nature spirits because that's what they are. But using these as they are freshly dried or freshly picked is really going to boost that energy in your oil. Also, like I said, praying over your nature spirits before you use them. I like to pray over them when I first get them. Now, the more a nature spirit sits in the oil, the longer it sits there, the stronger that oil will become. You also want to dedicate your oil to its purpose. Now, some of the oils that you can make, let's look at that. If you look through my channel content, I have instructions for several types of hoodoo oils. Now, a very easy one, recent video I did is the hoodoo cedar oil. This is one that you can really try if you're new to this. The video is actually called "You Don't Need Lots of Money to Do Hoodoo." And in that video, I'm showing you how to make hoodoo cedar oil. I also have other videos that teach you how to make different types of oils, like the hoodoo spell removal oil. There's a video on that. Protect my heart oil. There's a video on that. Protection oil with oregano. Hoodoo honeysuckle oil. Hoodoo sweetening oil with buttercups. So you can go through my channel content and check these out. And I'll also put the links to these in the description. Well, family, I hope this video has been helpful to you. I strongly encourage you to start making hoodoo oils. It's a great way to work with nature, but also build your hoodoo skills. You know, some of just a few primary oils that you always want to have on hand is like a protection oil, and you want a sweetening oil. Those two is something that you always want to have ready to use. And let me also say money oil. You also want to have some sort of prosperity oil on hand as well. So that's three actually: prosperity, protection, and sweetening oil. Family, if you'd like to learn more about hoodoo, check out my books. I have the Root Work for the Home book, which is available. This was my very first hoodoo book that I wrote, and it has lots of spells, rituals, including step-by-step instructions to do these. There is information about trees and plants, which is very timely for this video, so the link is in the description. And while you're there, also check out my 2025 Hoodoo Almanac and also the 2024 Hoodoo Almanac. Both have a lot of information that can be used for any year. So these are collector's items, and I really do appreciate all of you who have bought these and supported my work. You can go check those out too. The link is in the description. So family, until our next video, I want you to be safe, to be strong in your hoodoo work. And I also want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you to all of the visitors who dropped by. Hope you come back again. Just want you to know that I love all of you, and I truly, truly, truly wish the best for you. Take the information on this channel and start your hoodoo journey. Until the next video, have a wonderful week.